Hi, my name is Peggy Ambler. I'm a yoga therapist. I've worked with physical therapy for over 20 years. That's more of a physical practice, and at some point I started meshing the Eastern and Western philosophies together, bridging a gap between the people who you see on a video or a magazine that do yoga into being able to incorporate yoga into all the healing modalities that you see maybe in a hospital or your own corporation. So I'd like to do a practice today incorporating things from the Eastern and Western philosophies and hopefully send you into a path of healing. So you might want a chair or a block, or you might want a mostly standing practice and then coming down to the floor. We'll start with standing. If seated in a chair is more comfortable for you, then just do that. So first of all, I want to do a mudra first. So just tuck your thumbs into the base of the ring finger on both sides. And then close your fist. This has a very calming property. It's called Mushti Mudra. Just placing it near your navel and take a few deep breaths in and out. Your eyes can be opened or closed. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, but sit or stand tall, so lengthening the crown of the head towards your ceiling or your sky. And breathe. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth if you're able. 3 more breaths in and out. And now let's bring in a little bit of more movement. You can keep your thumbs tucked into your fist and just start to make some circles. If that's uncomfortable for your fingers or your wrists, you're welcome to open your hands at any point. Circling, warming up the wrists, the fingers, the joints. And then circling the opposite way. You can hear mine crackling, warming up. And then bring your hands to the heart center. As we inhale, lift your arms out to the side and or up. And as you exhale, forward fold. Soft bend in the knees. It's early in the practice. Maybe if you're in a chair, you just stop here with your hands or your forearms resting on your thighs. If you have a standing practice and you want to use a block, you could use that here. Or you could reach towards the floor as much as you're able. As you inhale, come halfway. So straighten the spine here, scoop the belly in. As you exhale, fold and release again. Inhaling all the way back up, you're welcome to walk the legs to help you get there, hands to heart. Inhale, lifting the arms out and or up. And exhale, lean to the right. So that left hand can go on your waist if you'd like, or you can slide it down the side body. Inhaling back to the center. Exhaling to the other side. Take a few breaths here. You might even lift your armpit towards the ceiling and maybe even look up. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and release. Inhaling all the way back up. Hands to heart. Let's try the triangle pose. I'm going to show that seated and then the standing versions. If you're in a chair, the legs don't look quite the same. That's the thing about yoga therapy, is being able to bring yoga to a wider population and let them know that they are able to move and breathe. Maybe not exactly the way they used to. So stepping the right leg out to the side, turning the toes 90 degrees. This one can just stay to the front or widen it if you choose. And you might use a block or another stool if that's available. And just start to bring your heart and navel looking straight forward as you lean to the right. So if you can't reach a block or a stool, you're welcome to place that forearm on your thigh. If a block is available, it can be behind or in front of that ankle. The other arm can be at your hip, or you can reach it up towards the sky. Opening that side body for better breath, better movement. You might look up towards the ceiling, or straight forward, or down towards the right foot. And breathe. Breathing in and breathing out, lengthening that breath. See if you can come away from any tension that you feel. If at some point you want to hold that posture longer, but your arm isn't comfortable or your back isn't comfortable, then you just modify, staying with the spirit of the pose. And then inhaling, coming back up. And bringing your feet back together, what we call mountain pose. This is our starting point. I'd like to stow the standing versions on the other side. And if you like to try the standing, but you still like the comfort of your chair, then you can leave it here and utilize the chair or the block. Typically, triangle pose standing, your left foot is going to turn 90 degrees. This foot is going to turn in a little bit. This leg and this leg are straight as you can be. But if you need to bend your knees to make this pose more accessible to you, that's fine. So your hips actually swing out to the right, and you reach past that left foot. It's important to keep the heart and the navel facing forward. What you'll typically see is somebody looking and reaching down towards the foot that you see. But that's not the pose that's supposed to be. You're supposed to lift the heart and the navel forward. You can hold to the back of your chair or the seat of your chair. And the top arm can be resting on your hip or your side, or you can reach it up to the sky. And breathe in and breathe out. If you find over time you can reach a little further than your chair, you might have the block at your ankle. At any level, just try not to fold forward and roll out of the posture of the trunk. It's just as important to reach towards the sky as it is reach towards the foot. Inhale, coming back out. Stepping back together in mountain pose. So you want your feet hip distance apart. Soften in the knees and start to sway forward and back. You can hold to your chair or the wall if you need to. And if you're still seated, you can just rock your ankles forward and back. And then bend through the knees a lot, as if you're reaching back to sit into a chair. Starting to bring some heat and strength into the legs. And bring the hands back to the heart center if you're able. If you're not, you might place one hand on your heart and one on the chair. If you're able to lift your arms forward, just go as high as is comfortable for you. This is chair pose. Take a big breath in here. Maybe lower a little further. Breathe in and breathe out. And then we're going to add a twist. So exhale, hands to heart, and then over to the right side of the body. So you might just place the hands apart, anchoring at the hip and the thigh, or you keep them together, squeezing down further, bringing the elbow across the knee. And again, you can look up or forward or down. As you inhale, come back to standing. Reach the arms out high. And exhale back to hands to heart. Give the legs a little bit of a break. Shake them out if you need to. Inhale, the arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. So we're doing that mini sun salutation again in between to kind of reset from one side to the other. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold and reach towards the feet. Inhaling all the way up, you can walk the legs or reach up without using the legs. Exhale, hands to heart. Bending a little soft bend in the knees, start to rock forward and back. And then sitting back further, pretending you're sitting into a chair, bend those knees and the arms can stay at your hips or your heart or lift up. Or maybe one of each. You can hold to the chair if you need to. Breathing in and breathing out here. And then coming into a twist. So bringing your hands to the side of your body. Maybe one hand on the hip and one on the thigh. Rotating, twisting in the spine. Looking wherever it's comfortable for your neck. Maybe going a little deeper if you're able. And then coming back to standing mountain pose. Hands to the heart. Relax the shoulders down. Lift the crown of the head high. Extend the arms forward from the heart center, so it doesn't have to be higher than your shoulders. You want to keep the arms down. Reach the fingertips forward, away from the body, so that you feel the shoulder blades expand or come apart from each other, away from the spine. And then bring the right hand on top. Press the backs of the hands together and drop the shoulders down, feeling more of a stretch between the shoulder blades. This is a modification of eagle arms. If that stretch feels good and you want to try a little more, you might see if you can get the elbows to cross. If the elbows can cross, bending both elbows, bringing the backs of the hands together again. Or you might try just one side. The point is to feel a stretch between the shoulder blades. And release, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands back to the heart. Let's try the other side. Extending the arms from the heart center, fingertips reach forward. Pulling the shoulder blades apart, away from the spine. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. And then the left hand on top. Press the backs of the hands together so you feel this energetic push. As you push the backs of the hands together, the shoulder blades separate and the shoulders drop away from the ears. It's a really good stretch for tension through the shoulders and the neck. And then if you're able, maybe the elbows can cross. And if they can't, stay with this version. If you can get the elbows to cross, bend the elbows, bring the backs of the hands together. Or maybe you can bring the palms to touch. Still dropping the shoulders down, maybe the elbows come higher. And release. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart. If you'd like to come down to the floor or your chair, we'll do a few leg stretches. So if you have a strap and that's helpful for you to get your toes stretched, that's fine. But if you don't have one available, that's all right too. So just extend the right leg forward, pulling the toes up towards you, and then hinging forward at the hips. Feeling a stretch through the hamstring. If you'd like to move the leg out to the side, if that's better, you could even bring the shoulder towards the leg instead of the heart coming towards the back. And coming back up. Trying the other side, extending that left leg forward. Maybe pumping the ankle a few times if you need to get a good position. And if you're on the floor, you can also let that leg come out to the side. The right knee can bend and come out to the side. Or you can keep it lifted towards the ceiling. Breath in. Exhale, fold. Taking a few breaths in and out here. Again, if you need to have more space between the body, between the legs, that's all right too. And coming back to standing. I'd like to do a few poses on the floor. And if that's unavailable to you and you're at your house, you could try the couch or the bed even. Or you could stay in your chair. So bridge pose, any inversions are good for the mood. And if you have high blood pressure, sometimes you shouldn't do that. So check with your medical professionals first. But it's okay in a chair, this version. You press your feet into the floor and press your hands into your chair. You just lift. So you're activating the backside, whole backside of your body. You'll feel the strength happening. The problem with inversions where people are nervous about it is when the heart is higher and the body is higher than the heart. So I'll show you that floor version now. And you might want your block for this as well. With the knees bent and the feet apart, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. So this brings the body higher than the heart, which makes the heart feel like it's running a race when it's not. It's strengthening and toning that cardiovascular system. So you can slide a block under your hips and rest. So if that's comfortable for you and you want it higher, you could raise your block higher, or you could simply not use the block at all, press the palms into the earth. And release down. Hugging the knees into the chest, rocking side to side, giving a massage to the low back. Bring the right knee into the chest, extend the left. This is a good release for the hip and the low back. And then switch sides. Notice that when you have any kind of forward fold or bringing your leg in towards your chest, it's a little harder to breathe. Also with the twists. But it's building your lung capacity. And back to both knees in. Rocking side to side. So one of the very beneficial poses for anyone, and you can do this lying down in the bed or the chair also, just by building pillows up. Or putting another chair in front of your chair or a stool in front of your chair with the legs straight. But this is a constructive rest pose. You can place your legs up on the chair with your knees bent, sliding yourself close to the chair to release that psoas complex and release the back and release the hips from the work and the stress and the tension that they're used to, and just rest. So you might stay in this pose for 3 or 10 or 15 minutes. You could use this as your resting pose, or you could use this pose as a restorative position and then still do your typical Shavasana, which can be a seated meditation or lying down with the legs extended. Try to release any tension from the back and the hips, from the shoulders, from the face. Let go of the breath practice. Allow the breath to be easy. Release any tension from the shoulders, collarbones. Relax through the jaw. Let the tongue rest between the teeth. Relax any tension in the eyes and the ears. See if you can rest in this position for at least 5 to 8 minutes, longer if you have the time. When you're ready to come back to the mat, start by wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe moving your head from side to side. Eventually rolling onto your side. Maybe rest there for a moment. Eventually coming to a seated position from your side. Thank you for sharing yoga with me today. Until next time, namaste.